tag along, as my parents call it. I have several different heart conditions. Bad lung, they want to take out this, I think it's this one, when they poke around at, and liver cirrhosis as of recently. I struggle with a lot of trauma and anger issues. I got stuck in the system. I just kept falling through holes, basically.
We know from understanding trauma that transition is a trigger, and there's no bigger transition than from childhood to adulthood.
I know, like when I was a little baby, I had a whole bunch of seizures. Some kids with disabilities where they get teased and all that, where we can do a lot more stuff and working.
They have spent their entire lives being told they couldn't do stuff. That is their mantra, that's what they believe. When you're living in a home where you don't see other people working, it becomes a foreign concept to you.
Wisconsin Promise is a family systems approach to helping families find, maintain, and advance employment. To make a difference and you want to make a change, you have to look at the whole. You can't just look at the parts. It's not like a one-size-fits-all approach. It connects people to resources. It gives them hope.
We all have our dreams. When you have been fighting your whole life just to have the basic needs met, it's really hard to realize those dreams and be able to think that there's a step past that.
I was starting to age out of foster care. My resources for help were running really low. So we found Promise Grant, and Promise Grant was like, we can help you. That's one of the reasons why I think Promise will help me, because when I was in foster care and everything, I moved around a lot. So I didn't really get stability or any of that, or get a chance to figure out what I want to do.
If you need us to help get your foot in the door with an employer, that's what Promise is here to help you with.
Avi applied for services, and she came in saying that she'd love to become a pastry chef. So she had a couple of different work experiences in the area. By the time she's ready to graduate from high school, she's already working, or we've already tried a bunch of things. She's just willing to take on whatever is presented to her. You'd never know that Avi didn't feel well half the time.
Fills us with chewable.
I got this Promise program thing in the mail, so my mom signed me up.
One of the goals of Promise is to provide our youth with their first work experience.
Craig came on, I think this was his first job. We started him off doing the basic tasks, and we saw that that wasn't really a challenge for him. So we continued just to push him, try new things.
I see me here. He's a heavy man.
It takes a lot off my plate as far as freeing up time that I'm not doing small tasks, that I can focus on the business. I think it's huge for Matt because it will help him so much later in life.
He just nails it. He just boom, 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 boom. It's so cool because he's got a match between his interests, talents, and abilities.
Well, I love sports. Basketball, baseball, soccer.
He can do anything he puts his mind to. That's one thing I think that his mother just instilled in him.
He tried for years to learn how to ride a bike, and they said he'd never be able to do that. He rides all over town from one end to the other end.
I can weld one-handed.
Welding, to me, it's a two-handed job.
I would try to challenge him to push himself forward. The more I worked with him, I'm like, why can't you do this? You can do this. You can do this just fine. He learned how to arc weld and MIG weld. That's hard to do.
Wisconsin Promise helped me step out of my box a little bit and speak to people, not be so shy. Total is $149. Working with Walgreens, I have to learn to talk to the customers. Have a great day.
Tony currently works at Nielsen's here in town.
He came on, he had a helper with him, caught on really quick.
My favorite is helping people. I'm learning new things every single time.
He knows the store pretty much inside out. He's come out of his shell a little bit more.
After his siblings saw the success that he was having, I slowly started working with other siblings within the family. Sydney was a delight to work with, and we immediately found employment at Denny's, and they hired her on the spot.
Hello.
starting my own company, set a foundation to start the growth of a legacy for our family. Just gotta roll with it sometimes, you know. I know Tony is really big into wanting to help with the company and want to see it grow.
It's my most favorite is just going with him and going on tours, watching the lights and hooking up the cars.
Through DVR and Promise, we were able to get him and his siblings into the driver's training program.
When I get my license, I'm thinking of doing towing until I go to college.
First consumer that I had that was actually graduated from high school and was in college.
It's okay to go to college. It's okay to be smart. It's okay to go to work every day and get up, earn your money, and work hard for that.
He started working for me last year as a lab monitor. He is very happily working with me again this semester, hanging out in the lab. Also, he can help students out, work as a tutor in that role.
He never really had a sense of earning money and having a savings account. He'll look on the internet, things that he can buy now.
She spent 3 months saving up $1,000, got matched that by $1,000, and then had $2,000 to spend on her first vehicle, which is a huge step of independence for any youth transitioning into the world.
I got a red blazer. I like to stand out a lot. Promise Grant has helped decipher what I want out of life and the steps to get there.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Welcome aboard. A quality employee can come from anywhere. The trick is finding how exactly they can fit in to the puzzle that is your business.
My ultimate career goal is to be an officer, stay in my hometown, work with my community, help people.
Awesome, that is totally fabulous. You should really be proud of yourself.
And here's the editing suite. This is the studio where they record.
So it's been just awesome having Avi in class. She's really, really good at a lot of different elements.
Incredibly invaluable.
And I think sound is probably her favorite.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I visualize the world. It's like a big canvas, and all you need is your tools or your brush. And you can paint it into whatever you want it to be. And make the best out of it, you know, because that's all you get. When it's gone, it's gone.